Hey everyone, and welcome to today's live interview. Slightly different today. We're not interviewing one of our life coaches. I'm joined today by our amazing program director, Adele Jacobs. And the purpose of today is so you can get to know a little bit about Adele, but also learn more about our accredited certification program. So if you do have any questions on our program, please drop them in the comments box. If you're watching live right now, please let us know where you're tuned in from, and please feel free to say hello. Adele, welcome to the space, and thank you so much for taking the time out today to be here with me. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul, for the invite, and I'm looking forward to sharing what we do in the program and just giving more information to people that might want to become a life coach or want to further their personal development.
No, fantastic. I'm looking forward to hearing what you've got to say and the information that you're going to be sharing with our viewers today. So before we jump into our certification program, I'd like our viewers to know a little bit more about Adele Jacobs, how you got into personal growth, life coaching, and then worked your way up to becoming a coach supervisor and also the program director here at Coaching Minds.
My journey started with self-development, developing myself through Jay Shetty and Juniors, where we connected as well. And through that, I really found my passion to help people and done some coaching certification courses. And then Coaching Minds started, and just putting that time in. It's, as I'm saying, personal development is ongoing. It is not you've done your course and that's it. You keep on developing yourself and you need to grow. So for me to have grown into the supervisor position is a new challenge for me, and it's new growth, new learning experiences, and I'm really enjoying it by helping upcoming coaches and trainee coaches to really develop themselves, and maybe one day they can also grow into a supervisor or into a program director role as well.
No, fantastic. And thank you so much for sharing that. I've really loved to watch your journey. I remember when we connected back, I think we connected in 2019, but I know you've been part of Genius and part of really involving yourself in your personal growth since 2017, 2018. And then through 2019, we connected. You were helping other people with their personal growth without calling yourself a life coach. I've seen that a lot. Just in group chats we were in conversations we had, you were helping a lot of people. And then I know that you went and did your certification in life coaching at the beginning of 2020 last year. And then since kind of back end of last year, you've been working on growing your skills, doing our training, and then also looking at going through training through the AMCC for your coach supervising. So it's, such a short time, 4 years personal development, a year and a half into coaching, almost a year now coming up to a year for supervising. So you've really invested a lot in yourself, and it's amazing to see that. And that's why we've picked you as our program director. That's why you've helped us with the curriculum, with what we've built here in terms of our certification program. And I really appreciate everything that you've done for us, Adele. I just want to share that today. I really appreciate everything you've done. So thank you.
I need to thank you for the opportunity you've given me and for seeing what I've done. And it goes on what you do as a person by not sitting back. I know in the beginning I said to you, I'm off camera. I'm still nervous when I get onto camera, but that was part of my growth. So I've gotten out of that comfort zone of behind the scenes, and it keeps on developing, and that's what I want to do for other people, is to help them to take that step out of those comfort zones that we are so used to.
Yeah, I remember back to that conversation we had when we were bringing you on board, and I'll do anything, but I'm not going on camera. I'm not going to do any lives. I'm not going to do any videos. And then we slowly pushed you outside that comfort zone. So you joined a few lives, and now you run your own live sessions in our coaching hub as well. So, and you've led a lot of our webinars. So it's amazing to see that, just it's visible to everybody, that growth where you were reserved and now you're out there. So thank you so much. I know you still get nervous, but thank you for being here today. And thank you for sharing everything with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's Adele, and she's also from South Africa. I think you failed to mention you're tuning in from South Africa. So you connect with the UK and South Africa to build coaching minds, along with Guyana and other places around the world to really connect us. So my first question for everybody who's tuned in, if you do have questions, you're tuning in right now, drop them in the comments box below. If you're thinking about being a life coach and you don't know where to start, this is the place to ask those questions. You've got myself and Adele here to answer. So the first thing I'd like us to share, Adele, with our viewers is all about the curriculum of our course, so they can get a feel for what they're going to be studying and how they're going to be studying. I'll let you open it up.
Well, Paul, there's the 5 modules, and they each come with each lesson has got its own video. Then there's the pearls of wisdom reflective exercise that goes with every single lesson, and a quiz. And the quiz at the end of every single lesson for me is so key, because it really helps you to understand what you've learned and to see if you understood what was shared in the video. And we start off with coaching essentials, which, as a new person going into coaching, you really need to understand what coaching is, understand the difference between therapy, mentoring. That's where the coaching essentials comes in. It gives you those skills. Then we've got the ethics, which is module 2. Ethics, which is, for me, is key to understand what ethics is about and how important it is in your coaching practice. And then you've got your cognitive coaching module, which is module 3, which gives you tools on the psychological side and the development on that. Then you've got your coaching development as module 4, and that's module 5, coaching presence, how to be present as a coach and what to look out for and how to give space to those to your clients. So every single module, if you start with module 1, builds on the next one, builds on the previous one. So it's not, you're not thrown in the deep end. You start small. It's those little steps you take through the 5 modules. And by the end of it, you know that you understand coaching in detail, that you're not left on your own. And I can refer to the course I did. I was left on my own. I did the course, I understood coaching, but that's where it stopped. And I think that's where we are going that step further, is to really be there for the new coaches. And with our seminars that we do, every module has got a seminar which you can attend. And there you learn a little bit more. And you get the chance to actually ask questions during that seminar. And then, as I've mentioned, the pearls of wisdom, and I've mentioned the quizzes. It really makes you understand every single lesson and every module in detail.
Yep. No, thank you for sharing that. And it's not as if these modules are just small. There's 5 or 6 lessons in there. At the minimum is 14 lessons per module. In total, there is over 80 lessons for everybody to get involved with. And the way it's structured, as you mentioned, Adele, is that each module builds on to that next step, that next big thing that you need to build your coaching practice. So as you mentioned, we start with module 1, which is all about the coaching essentials, which is not just about the difference between a therapist, a counselor, a consultant, a teacher, and a coach. It goes real deep into the key skills and attributes that we need as a life coach. How do we start to look at the coach-client relationship and build that rapport with our clients? How do we not break rapport? How do we really start to build that strong relationship, going into some of the introduction tools that we can introduce into our space, along with learning how we can hold a discovery session. Because a lot of people, other coaches have heard of discovery sessions, they have discovery sessions, but they don't know how to effectively hold one to ensure that they sign up a client and build that relationship from the get-go. Ethics we'll talk about in a moment. We can go deep into ethics because that's what makes our program quite unique. Cognitive coaching, it brings in a lot of modules from, like you said, from the psychology side of things, but how we introduce that in a very, very different way. So it's not like we don't do it like therapists do, we don't do it like counselors do. we introduce these tools in a very different way. We work with our clients differently, but we help them change their perspective. And the real foundation and concept behind cognitions is that it's not the events, what happen to us in life, that causes us hurt and pain, but it's the way we think and see these events that causes us this pain. And when we understand that, we get a deep awareness of that, we can help our clients change the way they think so they can change their life. And there's lots of tools, a big toolkit in that module for you to take away. In coaching presence, sorry, I'm just going to go through a bit more. I just want to really get the
Yeah.
details today. So you have any questions, please drop them in the comments box below. We'll get to them. I can see lots of people tuned in, which is fantastic. Coaching presence is all about holding that space, preparing for our sessions. How do we make sure we bring our best selves into that coaching space, into that session, so we can give the most value and create a safe and secure environment to really help our clients grow when we're meeting with them one-to-one. And then coaching development touches on a lot of different areas and helps our coaches start to establish what niche they might want to go down. Do they want to go down goal setting and helping people achieve goals? Do they want to go down relationship coaching? Do they want to go down the route of maybe habit building, business coaching, confidence coaching? All these different tools we can introduce, and so they can help them find their niche and explore things further. So thank you for that, Adele. And yep, we've got our seminars, which are 2.5 hours long. They go deeper into each of these modules through a lot of interactive exercises with other training coaches on our program, so you can really learn the key things in the curriculum in depth. So thank you, Adele, for what you shared. I just want to go a little bit deeper into the context of that curriculum there. So my next question is, we've talked about the curriculum, the online study, the seminars. This is all kind of what I would say the theoretical side of our program. But we also have a practical side, and we really believe it's important that we have a practical learning sense to our program. So would you like to share with everybody today just a little bit about how they can learn practically?
Paul, for me, it's so key. And that's where we really connect with our trainee coaches. We have that practical session where they can be a coach, they can be a client, or they can be an observer. And that gives them that practical experience of how to do a coaching session. What type of questions do you ask and how to ask those questions, and then getting feedback on that. And then also from a client's perspective, they get to view it from how does a client feel if you're in that client's seat, and how does the client experience the coaching. So it opens that whole new world to them, and it gives them that practical exercises, and to start to get comfort that you just don't walk into a session with a client, and then you're going to be extra nervous if you have not practiced that. So, and you can attend as many as you want. And I know there's a minimum requirement, but I would say attend everyone, because that's going to give you that practical experience. It's going to open your mind, and your learning and your growth. And then also we have the coaching center, whereby we offer a donation-based coaching to clients, where the trainee coaches get that experience with different clients that they can assist, and that they can start practicing and implementing what they want to do in their coaching practice, and also be of service at the same time.
No, thank you for sharing that, Adele. The two aspects of our practical coaching, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think these practical workshops that we have tend to be our trainees' favorite places to learn, because as you mentioned, you can play one of the 3 different roles. But what's really important to mention as well is the feedback. That space is a safe, secure space where we all give each other feedback, and you're getting not just peer feedback, which is great for learning. We also have a supervisor present, which will give you feedback in line with the EMCC competencies and our competencies here at Coaching Minds as well. So you're getting peer feedback from what they observed and how they felt, but you're also getting that detailed feedback from our supervisors to help you grow your coaching practice and take your coaching to that next level. And there's many courses out there that have programs and lessons, but none of them give that space where you can have that practical experience and practice before jumping in with real clients. And so we offer this. There's 2 workshops at the same time every week, and it's drop in, drop out. And even after you've certified, even after you've got your diploma in life coaching with us and finished the program, you can continue to attend these workshops to practice your skills. So it's a lifetime benefit that you have as part of the program. And I really like how you mentioned the coaching center as well, because for me, that coaching center is that next step up for that practical learning. So it's great to learn with fellow trainee coaches, but sometimes it can be difficult if you're a trainee coach and you're playing the role as client to bring something that's going really deep, because on the course, you're doing that work on yourself and your understanding. So sometimes it can be difficult for a training coach to bring an issue, a problem that they're facing into that space. But we do it, and it's good learning for the person who's playing coach. But there's nothing more better than experience with a real client that really needs that help and support right now. So that coaching center brings that in for our trainee coaches so they can really have that experience. So thank you, Adele, for sharing our practical workshop, our coaching center, in terms of the practical side on how our coaches can learn and also get clients at the same time. We forgot to mention that you also get real clients at the same time, and any donation that client makes, 100% of it goes to the coach that picks it up as well. So that is something we offer here in our program. I'm going to go to the comments. I'm not going to leave it to the end today, and then I'll ask my next few questions that I have, if that's okay, Adele.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see who's tuned in. So Lakshmi's tuned in. It's wonderful to see you here, Lakshmi, again. Thank you so much for being here. Daniel Hinmarch is here. It's wonderful to see you, Daniel. Looking forward to your interview tomorrow. So excited for that. Leica is tuned in. It's wonderful to see you here, Leica. Thank you so much. Joe Green, great to see you. Thank you. Daniel says, we appreciate you too. It's been amazing watching you grow and being able to share in your growth together, Adele.
You know what? I think we all shared it. And from the student side, and people that I connect with through Coaching Minds, to see their growth and to actually share that with them. It's not just us growing, it's everyone that joins us that grows as well.
Yeah, no, and you know, some people grow us and then go off on their own ventures, which is fantastic. People grow with us and want to really get further involved, further invested, and really help with our vision to really spark those passions of others, helping other people ignite those passions, so together we can create a world filled with love and kindness. So those who stay around with us, we really value you so much. We're so grateful for you and we really appreciate it. We've got Bob tuned in. Bob is also saying, Adele, your growth is amazing. Bob, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you for an amazing interview yesterday. And Adele, he's saying your growth is amazing. It's visible to him as well. Frank and Paula is here. Thank you so much both for tuning in today. It's really lovely to see both of you. Charmaine is here as well. She's saying hello to us both. Hello to the family. She's saying grateful to be here with all of you. Paula Adams is saying, for me, it's been a wonderful experience, especially in the practical sessions. And we hear that a lot of the feedback. So we always want to grow our program. That's another thing we want to mention. We always ask for feedback from our trainee coaches. There is a survey, a short 2-question survey off the back of every seminar, so we can take our program and improve it for you. And a lot of the positive feedback we get is all around the practical workshops. Would you agree, Adele?
I agree. And that's, as I said, it's that connection. It is where you get that space to ask questions. If you don't understand something, it's one-to-one with a supervisor. Every single session, as she said, has that supervisor. And you get that extra benefit. You really learn so much through those practical sessions and the connection that you build and the relationships that comes from there and the learning. That it's so key, and it's a great space to be in, and it's so great to have it and have those opportunities. And I think that's really where we stand out, is to have those practical workshops.
Yeah. No, definitely. Paula is saying, appreciate both of you for being there, supporting me along my journey. And Paula, thank you for choosing us as well, to allow us to hold that space for you, to allow us to support you as well. And you've had huge growth as well. So thank you so much. It's really amazing to see your growth through Coaching Minds as well, Paula. So we appreciate you too a lot. Bob has asked a good question here. So Bob says, the practical sessions are very valuable. Do you have a guide you follow when giving feedback after a practice session? Would you like me to cover this one, Adele, or do you want to take it? Sorry, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry, Paul, you can cover that one.
Cool. So we have AMCC competencies. So we're accredited with the European Mentoring and Coaching Council. We've embedded their competencies into our coaching program. And in order for you to, we'll talk about assignments and exams shortly in my next couple of questions. But basically, there's certain competencies that you must match in order to pass that practical exam and demonstrate that you're coaching to a high standard. And myself and Adele, we have supervisor ones that we look back, but we also provide you with so anybody who's observing in that session, they can download the feedback sheet and see these competencies, so they can also start to look and see what they're seeing in that coaching practice and if that coach is performing to that level. So there is guidelines we follow, which is set by the AMCC, and we have put that in a feedback sheet so all of our trainees can see what they're looking for in those practical coaching sessions. Charmaine is saying, I love the modules, theoretical side, and I find the practical coaching session really challenging, but I'm up for it, ready to make mistakes and try again. And that's what they're there for. Yep. You know, they're there to help you learn. If we don't fail, we cannot grow. And we'd rather that you fail in that space, in that practical workshop, than with a real client. Because with a real client, it can have really bad impact on you, your business, your reputation as a coach. So by giving you that practical space, we can help you grow, we can help you learn. Adele, is there anything you want to add to that?
For me, I would say, Paul, that's where I call it constructive feedback comes in, because it's part of the coach's development. If we just sit back and let everyone just do what they want and not give them that constructive feedback, they're not going to grow and learn and have that confidence to walk into a session with a client.
Yeah, and that's one of the key skills of a supervisor, and it's something, you know, we've had to work on going through our training, is to be able to give feedback in a constructive way that's open, honest, but helps those trainee coaches grow. So, and, you know, we also want to help our coaches, trainee coaches, get there too, because we want that feedback from them as observers and as a client as well, to really give them constructive and learning. So thank you for some really great questions here. Bob, great question. Charmaine, some great points there. Paul Adams is saying all three is important to be a coach. Elle is tuned in. It's wonderful to see you here. Elle, thank you so much for tuning in. Charmaine is saying the practical coaching sessions are a great way to get to know each other deeper. So it also, again, that's the other point to mention, is these practical workshops, everything that is shared in there is completely confidential. And we've had some of our trainee coaches really open up with some deep problems that they've been facing, and that does help us get to know them a bit better and connect with them a bit deeper. So they are great. There's a lot of sensitive stuff shared in there, but they stay within that space. And you learn all about that in ethics as well, the importance of that. Shaman is saying, Adele, I really appreciate you giving me constructive feedback, and we laugh it out after. Thank you very much for your love and support. Okay. Shannon's tuned in. Shannon, it's wonderful to see you here. If you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments box. If you're thinking about being a life coach, if you've explored our certification program on our website, whatever you need, just drop them in the comments box below, and we can answer them questions today in this space. Vijaya's tuned in. Vijaya, it's wonderful to see you here. Thank you so much for taking your time out. She said that practical workshops are great to upskill yourself and get candid feedback. And that's so important. Everyone's mentioned the feedback, the importance of feedback. Paul has mentioned this. Vijaya is saying every hour you invest in the coaching course and the entire program, you learn something new. Thank you so much for sharing that, Vijaya. I'm glad that our trainees are learning something new at every single stage on that journey. La TR is tuned in. It's wonderful to see you, La TR. Thank you so much for being here. Very grateful. Lots of love coming through for you, Adele, as well, and for what we're sharing today. So thank you so much for the love and for pressing that love button. We really appreciate you all. Paulo says the feedback is so important as a fellow trainee too. Yep, it's so important. So in that space, we're all learning how to give feedback better and how to take feedback. So give and take feedback at the same time. constructively. Karen's tuned in. It's wonderful to see you, Karen. Thank you so much for being here. Charmaine is saying, Paul, your words, not what you say, but how you say it. And that's one of the most important things that we must keep in mind when giving feedback. It's not what we say to people, but it's how we say it. And that's the important piece. Okay. Oh, so we've got one question coming in from Paula. So, question from Paula is: what has been the most challenging process you have gone through during your time here at Coaching Minds? Okay, Paula, I don't know if that's a question. Is that for both of us, or is that just for Adele? So, Adele, I'll let you take this first. Paula, if you want to know mine, please feel free to ask as well.
Sure. I think at the coaching program was stepping up into that supervisor role. That for me was very challenging. It was a lot of learning to do. It still is. As I said, it's ongoing growth that you need to do, ongoing learning and ongoing developing yourself and developing that role and having that responsibility for students under you to really uplift them. For me, I think that for me was the challenge.
No, and it's not easy to step into that, but you've really put in the work. You're investing in that growth even further. You know, we've given you lots of guides to study. There's the course for you, and you're really getting deep into becoming a supervisor, which is fantastic. So thank you for sharing that challenge. And Paul Adams has asked for both. So for me, there's been a load of challenges in building this and getting there. But I'd say probably the most difficult, which has been the most pain as well, is recording all the videos. So, you know, there's over 80 videos in the course, and I'm currently in Bogota, Colombia. And for those of you who know Bogota, Colombia, it isn't the easiest city to find somewhere quiet that you can record. It's very noisy, very busy. So I've had to try and find different places, find that right environment to record those videos at the right time. So my biggest challenge was recording all the videos for the course. So Karen says, love you both. You're absolutely great at what you do and hold close, authentic, and dedicated to giving back to the world. Thank you so much, Karen, and very much likewise as well. You're another person that really wants to give back to the world. Okay, Adele. So my next question is all around our assignments. So we talked about the theoretical side, the training. We've talked about the practical side, the workshops. We're not going to go into detail much, but there is the kind of self-development side as well, which is all around personal reflection as you as a life coach and personal development. There's certain hours that you have to complete in order to be part of our program, to certify through our program and get your diploma. But what is it? Can you just give a bit of explanation of our exams and assignments and what our students or training coaches are required to pass?
Paul, there's the three things. There's the ethics exam, then you've got a practical exam, and you've got your assignment. For me, the ethics exam is key and very important because it shows that you really understand. And when we come in, we have those mock exams for the students to prepare for their final ethics exam. And that for me gives them that understanding that they really understand ethics in detail and how to implement that into their coaching practice. And then the assignment it's a written assignment essay that you have to write on coaching, how you understand it and how you went through the course and how you've developed. And then what helps a lot also is your course journal that you get at the beginning. You can record all your sessions. The practical sessions that you have to log in with clients that you're being assessed on. So for me, in short, is important because when you walk out, you know you're a qualified coach. It is not that you still need to learn things. You know that you understand coaching, how to implement it in your business, how you got to your niche, and you really understand that ethical side. The ethics for me is very important, and that's also in our code of conduct that people understand what they need to live up to and have that high bar as per se.
And I honestly believe that's so important for us as well to set those standards. We don't make it easy for you here in the Coaching Minds program. This is not somebody who just wants to dabble into coaching, get a quick certification, and leave. This is for people who are serious about being a life coach, whether full time or part time. This is about people who are serious about investing in themselves, growing themselves, but also growing themselves as the best life coach that they can possibly be. And the assignments are difficult. The mock exam, sorry, the ethics exam is very difficult, but we do offer mock exams as well. So you can practice and practice and practice. It's not an easy multiple choice questionnaire. But again, we offer resits. So whilst the standard is quite hard and quite high, there is resit options, and we do give you lots of materials and help you study for that exam. The other thing we got, as you mentioned, is our reflective essay, the essay that everyone has to write, which is 1,500 words, a choice of 3 topics they can choose, all related to coaching on how they want to write it. Again, we've got AMCC competencies that people must have to meet in order to pass that assignment. And finally, we're not easy or lenient on our practical exam, which is us listening to you in your one-to-one sessions with a coach. So you submit a recording with a client, and we look back, we give you feedback, and we pass or fail you again in line with the European Mentoring and Coaching Council's competencies. But it's difficult, it's not easy, but you have support because you have to submit 5 supervisor sessions, which is where you submit those recordings to your supervisor and they provide you with detailed feedback to help prepare you and help you show what you need to improve ready for that practical exam. So whilst it's difficult, the assignments might be a bit daunting, we give you all that help and support you need to get you to that place that you need to be to get your diploma in life coaching and get that certification.
Paul, I just want to add to that where you said that's again where your practical sessions comes in, that practical workshops. That helps you in your certification because when you have to submit those, you've already had those practical experience. You know exactly what we are looking for and how to run your session. So once you submit those sessions, as you said, it's not easy. And to get feedback on that, depending on a pass and a fail. So again, the more practicals you attend, workshops you attend, the easier it's going to become for you to submit those sessions.
Exactly. So, with the constantly there giving support, we want our trainee coaches to perform at the best of their ability to a high standard, and we really want to see them succeed in their coaching practice. Like I mentioned, whether that's full-time and you're investing full-time or part-time, or you're just using it to really build your skills in your current career. We had Vijaya tuned in the other day, and she was explaining how these skills are transferable into the professional world. And it's something I honestly think is managers in businesses really need to start to invest in becoming coaches. And because we need to coach employees to get the best out of them rather than manage them. There was a saying I read the other day, we don't manage people, we manage things, we coach people.
Yeah.
So some good stuff there, Adele. Thank you for adding that extra bit to the end. And before I go back to the comments, I just want to ask my next question, which is what makes our certification program unique?
For me, first of all, it's our ethics, our professional code of conduct, which embeds the EMCC's global code of ethics. It's of a high standard. The coaching center, where we have the donation-based center that our trainee coaches can get clients and already built their coaching practice. The support that they get, there's a lifetime support, even after the course. You've mentioned it earlier on. After there's lifetime support from us. So it's not you do your certification and then you're left on your own and you need to scramble and you need to, whenever you need assistance, they can reach out to us. And then also in our hub, they get their own coaching pod where they can schedule events, they can do their own topics, they can do lives within the coaching pod, they can get clients into their coaching pod. For me, that's also a key that stands out. I think that's the main points, and also obviously the practical workshops.
No, thank you for that. You've covered the definitely unique points of us. One, the big one being that ethics. We've had lots of discussions with our trainee coaches over these interviews about that ethics side of things. We really want our coaches to be at that high level standard, and we want to hold them accountable as well for their own coaching practice. We mentioned yesterday with Bob that it offers through Coaching Minds and through the certification program, it offers two extra layers of protection for clients as well. So, if you're a client right now and you get into a coach, you pay maybe a couple of £100 or £1,000 for a program, they don't deliver that program, they just run off. There's nowhere you can go, there's no help you can get. You have to go down the legal route, which is lengthy and very expensive. But here you take a Coaching Minds coach, one of our coaches doesn't do something they're supposed to be doing, there's consequences in place for that with Coaching Minds. They can lose their certification, they could be removed from Coaching Minds, all that sort of stuff. And we help you reach a resolution. If you're not happy with Coaching Minds resolution, then you have the EMCC, because we're an accredited program, and they will help get the resolution that you want. And then there's consequences for us if we don't live up to our standards as well. So we're setting that bar with our ethics, and we're holding ourselves and our training coaches accountable for the quality of coaching that comes to us. So thank you so much for mentioning the ethics side. Coaching pod, I'm going to do a live on the coaching pod later in the week when I explain the hubs. I'll go into detail on that so people can really understand what these coaching pods are all about. Because, as a coach, we need to build our community. We need to have a community as well as coaching. That's what's going to help us grow. But to have a community off Facebook can be very, very expensive. So we're going to show you what we have to offer a unique point for our program later on in the week. And then what was the other point you mentioned? Our coaching center is very unique in the support that they get. So some really good stuff there, Adele. Thank you. I'm just going to go to the comments box again, see what else is coming through, and see if there's any questions for you. So lots of stuff coming through. Paula's saying she's studying for her first mock exam. That's amazing. And it's going to be good to see you pass your ethics. I know you put a lot of work in, Paula, and you're studying well. So thank you. We've got Penaranda Paula who's tuned in. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you. Bob was saying there's so many videos, but they have so much value and help in the learning process. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for Bob. I'm glad you're getting learning from those videos. Shannon is saying, I have so much love and respect for our whole family, and we have so much love and respect for you as well, Shannon. Thank you for being here and the energy that you give to us as well. We really appreciate it. Ethics, Karen is saying, ethics is so detailed and a big eye-opener. It takes time and understanding. And I think that's a really good point that Karen's mentioned there, Adele, because we've done our research, we've looked at other certification programs. I've worked with other certification programs in the industry, and one thing that they miss is that detailed spotlight on ethics. They have a lesson or two, maybe one lesson, two lessons, or they give you a code that you need to read and follow, but they don't really walk you through and help you understand what it means, how you can practically structure your coaching practice to make sure you're in line with ethics.
It comes to, again, the mock exams, that preparation, that deeper understanding. And for us to make sure that you did understand what was shared in the videos, what was shared in the module. Once you pass that exam, you've got a deeper understanding of ethics. And that, to me, it's so important, is that you really understand it and that we know you understand it. And as you mentioned earlier, it covers the client and the coach at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Bob was saying, appreciate that's not easy. The hard work is necessary for us to become the best coach we can. Yeah, it's a journey. And, we always, as one of the things that we need to have as a live coach and as a supervisor and as anybody who's into service is we must understand that this journey of growth is never ending. If we're hitting a block and thinking we've learned everything we need to learn, we're at the best we can ever be, then we've moved into what we call in the coaching world a fixed mindset, and we're blocking ourselves from that growth. So we need to understand that we're constantly growing and constantly learning. No matter what role we play, where we are in life, there's no maximum. Our potential, there's no full potential of us. The potential can keep growing. It's a never-ending and infinite thing. So thank you so much for sharing that, Bob. Vijay is saying, I also love additional read and reference material we get after each module. So yeah, there's about 10, 11, sometimes there's about 15 in one of the modules, but we give you so much access to materials and additional learning to take your growth to that next level as well. Adele, I don't know, have you picked up any of the additional reading to read at all? So that comes to mind?
Um, Not that comes to mind right now. There is so much. I mean, every module has got its own additional reading. And that also turns into your personal development, because if you ignore that reading, you you're sort of blocking yourself from further learning and further growth and personal development.
Yeah. And there's a mix of things in there. You know, we put in books, so coaching books that are going to help you grow, personal development books that are going to help you grow. There's articles that we pulled, articles from the AMCC, any other organizations that we're involved with. We pull their stuff in there as well, and to videos as well that's going to help you learn and grow. I remember I pulled in one of the videos recently into one of the modules, and that's constantly going to build as we learn, as we grow, as we find new materials published. We're going to continue to keep that additional reading up to date as well. Just going to go back to the comments. Lots of stuff coming through. We don't have time to go through all these, so I'm going to just pick up a few. Paul is saying, I love that Coaching Minds has its own ethics built in. No, thank you for that, Paul. It's something we really did. So we've taken the AMCC Global Code of Ethics. We've taken a slightly different approach to the way we regulate those ethics, taking a more of a kind of, I've forgotten the word now, but we've designed it differently into a code to make it more easily breakable. So you have 7 high-level principles that we must follow, and behind those, so it's a more outcomes-focused regulation, which means underneath each principle, there's outcomes that you must be hitting and achieving as a life coach, and also indicative behaviors. So behaviors that you should be shown in your coaching practice and space, not just in the sessions, but in your business, to show that you're in line with these ethics. So slightly different, and that's how we built it and reshaped the AMCC Global Code of Ethics. But we make reference to both, and you must understand both in our coaching program. Vijay is saying what's unique about the program and platform is that you can be focused on what really matters by building your skills, work on your services, and scale up, all within the hub, free from distractions. So everything is in this Coaching Minds hub, in our hub, which I will be doing a demonstration live on later on in this week. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out for my posts. So thank you for sharing that, Vijaya. Bob is saying Adele is always ready and willing to help us, and it's so appreciated. Thank you so much, Adele. It's coming from Bob. And thank you for me being there.
I just want to say thank you to Bob for the comment. And I know I can reach out to Bob at any time. I can message him. Any of the students, just to follow up how they're doing, and just having that connection, that it's not just videos you watch. It's that personal connection. I think that's another unique point that we have in our program, is the connections that we've built with our students and our openness, and that you can reach out to a student and the student can reach out to you at any time.
Yeah, no, and Adele, that comes down to you as well, and putting your energy there, putting your effort there, and really helping our trainee coaches grow. And I really, really appreciate the work that you put in behind that as well. So thank you so, so much, Adele. Karen has said, this is how authentic they are, continually in making sure we continue to provide the best practice as always. Thank you so much for sharing that, Karen, because one thing we need to be open and honest about is, we don't always get things right first time. We make mistakes. We've got a challenge of a global audience. We might put workshops on at the wrong time. There might be the odd mistake in a slide, spell mistakes. So we do make mistakes, but we learn from them, we grow from them, and we encourage our trainee coaches to help us spot that and then constantly improve that service. If there's something missing that you want to see, our ears are open. We're here to have those conversations with our trainee coaches. We're here to build on what we're providing. As Bob mentioned yesterday, we're never going to stay static. We're going to constantly grow. We're going to constantly keep in line with the industry, and we're going to try and get ahead of the industry and provide things new and give you that foresight into the trends that we think are going to go in the future. And we do that through partnerships with other organizations as well. You can find them on our website. We're looking to collaborate, not just with our coaches, but with other organizations. We want to change the industry for the better. Adele, if there's anything you want to add to that.
It comes to that two-way communication. We're not working in I call it silos, just one-way communication. It's that two-way street, and that we really listen to the trainee coaches. And they know that we've got that open door policy. They can come to us with anything, and we can adjust. And we have to learn as well, because that's how we grow. And that's how we're going to better our academy and better our program. And if we're not willing to listen, it's going to that fixed mindset, and there won't be further development. And we want to, as you said, we want to be the best out there. We want to be set such a high mark that our coaches know that when they come through our academy, they had the best and they are properly qualified.
Exactly. And you know, the mindset we're in collaboration mindset. We're never in competition mindset.
Yeah.
For me, we're not competing against other certification programs or anyone else that's out there. But what we want to do is we want to push them to raise their standards as well. We want to force that force in the industry at that high level and start to, you know, we don't just want to be the only program that has an ethics module and an ethics exam. Let's be the leading in the industry and let's push other programs to also do the same. You know, we understand we're not going to cater for everybody. Not everybody's going to be attracted to Coaching Minds, but those that are attracted to us, those who are dedicated to serve, those who want to succeed in their coaching practice, we will give them our all. We'll help them grow. And yeah, it's really, yeah.
It's just raising the bar, and setting that example and regulating the industry that we don't have these you have these coaches that run away and disappear and give the industry a bad name. We're there to raise the bar.
Exactly. And I just want to give some examples of some of the changes that we've done, that we've listened to our trainee coaches. So for example, at the start, we just wanted to put one quiz at the end of every module because we thought having a quiz after every lesson might be a bit too much. But we found from our trainee coaches that they wanted a quiz after the end of every lesson so they can check what they learned within that lesson. So we implemented a quiz for every single lesson. The other thing is we've had people come to us and say, okay, we've not covered this in the seminar in detail. I don't fully understand it from the video. Can we do something a bit deeper? And we'll put a workshop on. We'll throw on a random, spontaneous workshop to go deeper in. If we find someone that's really struggling, so for example, imposter syndrome, that can be a difficult concept to understand and really go deeper in and help, especially when changing it, to help our training coaches, for anybody who has that imposter syndrome, to change it. So we threw on a workshop to go deep into imposter syndrome. We're constantly listening, we're constantly helping our trainees grow, and we're there to provide that support. So thank you, Adele, for sharing that. And thank you, Karen, for mentioning such a good point there. Vijay is saying, I also love how in our book club discussions, we bring in how to apply our learning to coaching. We discussed that during 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in the discussion. So yeah, that creeps up into our book club as well, the discussions that we have in there. And the important point to note, our book club is not just for our coaches. You will see a lot of our coaches in there because they love to read and they grow themselves. Our book club is open to anybody who wants to join us on a Saturday. We provide you with the books, the list of books for the year. You can see which book is each month. You can read it. We provide you with a guidance of what chapters, and you can join us and really take your learning further. And it's a great space to learn from our coaches as well. If you're new, you haven't read the book, you just want to listen, tune in, because you will hear perspectives from all our coaches, and they're all different. It's fantastic. Great place to learn.
And one thing about the book club, even if you're not a coach and you join us, we like learning from you because we like your perspectives, and that again comes to our development and listening to different perspectives from coaches, non-coaches. We all learn together, and by sharing, that's how we develop further. And we might get a new understanding of what we've read from you.
Yeah, no, definitely. And sometimes we can miss the obvious. Sometimes when you're in that coaching mindset, sometimes when you're in a spiritual mindset as well, we're constantly looking for that deeper meaning, that deep philosophy. And sometimes there's no deep meaning there. It's just, this is what it is, black and white. And having someone snap us back to that reality is like, wow, that's quite good. But we've had loads of people join and give so much benefit who aren't coaches to our book club. It's fantastic. You know, Luchmi is tuned in. Luchmi being one, and she's not one of our coaches, but she's tuned in. She's given so much value. Mazid, back in the day when he used to tune in, lots of really good stuff. So lots of positive wishes for Paula, and sending lots of good luck to Paula for her ethics exam. Huge good luck from us, but I know that you're going to nail it. And, you know, comes ethics for me, to you, Paula, comes as second nature. I know it's just aligned with who you are. Lots of love coming through. Bob was saying, yes, Adele, it's another wonderful offering in coaching space. So many programs do provide that type of follow-up and communication. That's great. Thank you for sharing that, Bob. Jared Garns tuned in. It's wonderful to see you. So I have no more questions for you, Adele. So I'm just going through. So this is our
Yeah,
Q&A. We're going into our Q&A. So any questions and answers, I'm just going to bring them into the space. So let us know. Shamina says, yes, another thing, no competition here, no comparisons. We all respect our differences. We do indeed. Thank you so much, Charmaine. Lakshmi is saying, not quantity, but quality. Quality is so important. And what people don't realize, if you focus on the quality over a period of time and you stay focused on quality, what you don't realize is the quantity that you actually produce. So, we focus on quality, but if you look back, Adele, to what we've achieved in the past year in setting up Coaching Minds, it's huge. There's so much out there, from not just our certification program, the other courses that we built for personal development, our podcasts, our webinars that we do every Saturday, the book club. There's so much growth over the years. Over the years, the one year we've been live, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you look where we started and where we are now, it's amazing to see what we've done in a year, and the different projects we've taken on and developed and implemented. And yeah, it's massive, actually.
Yeah. And we've had some big projects that failed. We failed fast and we failed hard and we failed fast and we learned. I'm thinking back to, it was this time last year when our huge idea of having the biggest online gratitude network, that was one of our first things we wanted to do. We designed this whole gratitude network, and it just wasn't what people were interested in. We jumped ahead, and we got really excited because we loved it and it was great. And it didn't really take up. Lots of people got benefit from it, and we still have the course, so it wasn't a waste. People can do the gratitude course in our network, in our hub, but the network was a bit of a flop.
I think something that we've learned is to listen to our members, our family members, to listen to the people that gives us the feedback, and that's what we implement. It is not that we sit and we think, let's do this. It's actually listening to what the people want and giving that to them.
Yeah, and this is a bit of advice for anybody who is starting up a business, whether it's in coaching, whether it's doing something else. But you can do market research, you can look at your research, you can talk to a few people, and you can get an idea. But your first attempt is never going to be your best attempt, because, as you said, Adele, it's important to listen to other people. But if you don't have those people to start off with, there's no one to listen to. So you have to just take that action, do it, put it out there, attract people, and then listen to what those people are saying about what you put out there. One, if you don't put anything out there, you're not going to get that feedback. You're not going to have anybody to listen to grow and improve. And two, you need to not get attached to the idea. And I know perseverance works, but sometimes you've got to find that balance between, this is not working, we need to pivot, we need to change what we're doing slightly differently. We need to listen to what people want and then change it. And that's what's happened, as you've seen us grow over the years. So we got our group of coaches together. We did what we thought was good, what people would like because of what we liked and what we've seen. We attracted an audience. The audience says, no, this is not what we want. And they start to tell us what they do want. And we started to build it from there. So don't be disheartened at first. Put something out there for your business idea. Don't be disheartened at first, and listen to the people that you're attracting. And then that's how you grow. So any questions? I'm going to look for questions coming through because we're coming up to an hour, Adele, but it's been a really great discussion. Thank you for sharing everything you've shared today. I really, really appreciate it. Karen says, where else are you going to find this open interactions? It's absolutely awesome how you want to and are so open. Thank you so much, Karen. And it's important. I think transparency in an organization, especially in the coaching industry right now, is important because there's so many people out there calling themselves coaches. There's so many people creating businesses to give certifications for $25, $30 that doesn't give you what you need to be a coach. And the organizations that are out there, they're not speaking up enough. We're trained in the coaching industry to always be positive, always be positive. Everything has to be happy, happy, happy. And for me, I feel like there's this positive toxicity in the coaching industry to some extent. So we need to be open and honest and say, the industry isn't performing to the best of the standards. It hasn't raised the bar. It hasn't increased enough awareness. So how do we step forward and how do we increase this awareness? And we can only do that by increasing our number of coaches, by raising the level, the standard of what we do, by raising our coaching center, by providing those who need that coaching support, the support they can get through our coaching center. And it all starts with you and everything that everyone who's tuned in is doing today. So I thank everybody who's part of this vision and this mission. But we really need to be open and look at what's really happened constructively and change it.
Yeah.
So we always love kindness. Charmaine says, lots of best look of for exam for Paula again. Vijaya says, our diversity uplifts each of us. We reflect, retrospect, and revise. What do you think of that, Adele? It's beautifully put.
It's beautifully put, and it's perfectly put. And I think she summed it up so well.
She has, and you know, I love that about it. We're everywhere we are, it's a judgment-free zone. Everybody just wants to really help each other grow, and it's absolutely beautiful. You know, Bob was explaining this energy in his interview yesterday, just the feel that you get in Wisdom Creators, not in Coaching Minds, but in Wisdom Creators, our Facebook group, and just how everyone's putting themselves out there. Everybody's coming from a heart space, from kindness and love, and really wants to make a difference. I think that's what really makes us unique. So lots of stuff. So if you have any questions, we've got 5 minutes left. So please drop your questions in below. Rajesh, thank you so much for tuning in. We've just gone through our certification program and some of the stuff that we are offering here at Coaching Minds and what makes us quite unique, and our mission and vision as well. Shannon says, have a terrific day or night, everyone, and thank you. No, thank you so much for being here, Shannon. I really appreciate it, and have an amazing day over in the US.
I also just want to say thank you to Shannon for being here and her energy and always giving her comments and feedback to us. Thank you, Shannon.
No, amazing. She's always active on our webinars and putting in her wisdom and experience, and we really appreciate it. Rajesh is saying she's glad to be here. No, it's wonderful to see you here, Rajesh. If you've got any questions, if you're just tuned in, you have any questions, if you're thinking about being a life coach, if it's a path you're thinking about following, you want to know more about what we do here at Coaching Minds in terms of our certification program, then please drop your questions now. We've got a few minutes before myself and Adele duck off. If you are watching the replay, drop your questions below and myself or Adele will get back to them. Is there anything else you want to add, Adele? Is there anything we've missed in terms of the certification program?
No, I think we've covered everything, all the important points. I would just, if you are interested in becoming a coach, is just connect with one of us, connect with Paul, connect with myself. If you've got any further questions, we are there, we're open, and we're always willing to answer, listen, and spend that energy with you and really guide you through this process.
Yeah, no, thank you for that, Adele. We are definitely there. Another question I get asked quite frequently, and I'm going to be transparent with it today, is cost. And cost for our program. We are doing our best to make it affordable, accessible. It's part of our mission here at Coaching Minds to make coaching affordable and accessible across the globe. And that does involve making sure that people can get that high level standard at a reasonable price. So you can check other programs at our level. So we are a 165-hour accredited program at practitioner level 5 with the European and Mentoring Coaching Council. That is a very high standard for a coaching program. With the EMCC, there's a couple of levels below practitioner. You've got basic and foundation, and you know the 165 hours is huge. You check other programs to a level, and they probably don't have as much hours as ours. Then 2 levels above us, you have senior practitioner and master practitioner. If you look, the average across the industry for our standard is around $5,000. We really want to make this affordable and accessible. So $5,000 is about £3,500. Some are $5,000, some have gone up to $8,000. They're very expensive courses, but we really want to keep this affordable for people, and we have different installment plans. So you can pay a one-off up front, which is the cheapest. You can get a 3-month installment plan, or you can go for a popular, which is the most popular, is our 12-month installment plan, which is £159 a month. So just £159 a month for 12 months. People pay more for that for a car finance. People pay more than that in alcohol on their nights out each week, every month. So you've got to ask yourself that question. Are you willing to invest in something that's going to help you grow and give you more income, whether on the side or full time, allow you to earn online, learn, and make a difference to the world? or do you want to use your money for what you're doing right now? So we're making it affordable. And if you do find a program out there that is at our standard and our level, please let me know, because we will price match. So find something out there that is to our standard, at our level, that is cheaper than what we offer, and we will price match that as well. So I just want to put that out there, because we don't talk about costs, and we're being in a space where we're open and transparent. So you can, our mission is to make coaching accessible and affordable. So go on, Adele, sorry.
Yeah, I just want to add something. Even if you don't want to become a coach, but you want to do it as if you're a manager, or to further your career within where you are, this course can help you. It's not necessary that you have to become a coach. You can implement it in your career that you are currently in. Or if you want to shift careers, it can help you on your resume, your CV, to further yourself. So it's not only just coaching. We are focused on coaches, but you can use it within your daily life as well.
No, that's a really good point to note. So many people have mentioned it. A few people mentioned it. I know Sebastian mentioned it. I know Vijaya mentioned it. I think Bob might have mentioned it too in the interviews. But it doesn't just improve your work relationships, but your personal relationships as well. It improves you as a person and that connection. So a really good point there, Adele. And one thing I just want to let you know, so tune in to our live webinar on our Coaching Minds page on Saturday at 3 p.m. UK time. We're going to be relaunching our website. I'm going to be taking you through our website and the Coaching Minds Academy. So within the Coaching Minds Academy, there's not just this certification course for coaches. We are also going to have and launch on Saturday 2 other courses that are a lot cheaper, that are gateways and stepping stones into life coaching. So you can get some of these skills. You can start to improve your relationships, start to apply the skills of life coaching to your workplace and your family place as well. So I'll be announcing and talking you through these on Saturday. So that is 3 p.m. UK time, Saturday, on our Coaching Minds page. And I will be telling you everything about the Coaching Minds Academy, what we're going to be achieving. I'm going to give you an inside look, take you around our website, and give you a little bit of a sneak peek inside of our hub, so you can see what we're trying to achieve here. So again, this is our mission, to make coaching accessible and affordable, but keep that standard high. So any questions, I'm going to have a look through. People are tuning back in. Vijaya has said, Shamina, invest in yourself. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Shamina saying, invest in yourself and share it with others. Amazing. Vijaya says, Coaching Minds is now an EMCC on the EMCC website. So yes, that's a good point to note. If you go on our website, you can get to the EMCC, but if you go to the EMCC, go to the EQA holders, that's the European Quality Award, so the EMCC Quality Award, go down to the holders, type in Coaching Minds, you can see our practitioner level course is on their list. And also, if you want to check me out, Paul's mentioned the major achievement. Paul is certified as a senior practitioner. So if you check in the IRA holders in this section, you can see that I'm now at a senior practitioner level within the EMCC. So you can see our standard that we're at before you start to venture. So that's emcc.org, and it's global. So go and check it out. But if you want to find it on www.coachingminds.co.uk, you can go to our Coach Academy and you can access the link directly from there as well. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's tuned in, for your questions, for your love, for your continuous support, for taking your time out on a Tuesday afternoon, morning, wherever you're tuned in from. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you being part of this vision and this mission. But we have to be honest, we need you to make this work. We need you to help us change the coaching industry and get rid of that negativity that's out there and really raise the standard and the bar. And I just want to say a huge thank you to you, Adele, for being here today and taking up this time. I really appreciate it.
I just want to thank everyone that joined us, everyone that's watching the replay. As we said, reach out to us at any point. Paul, thank you for the invite. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share the program and my feedback and my learnings from it. And yeah, just thank you to everyone.
No, and a huge thank you to you, Adele, because you're doing amazing work at really working with our trainee coaches, giving them that continuous support and helping them grow. So I just want to give you a huge thank you and much gratitude from me. Thank you. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful day and we will catch up with you soon. Tomorrow, we are interviewing another life coach, Daniel Hinmarch, on his journey and his experience so you can get more information from our life coaches. So stay tuned. That is going to be at 5 p.m. UK time tomorrow. There'll be posts to see it, and I look forward to connecting with you all there. Adele, have an amazing rest of your day and evening, and we'll catch up soon. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.